Hello and welcome back, ladies, to the Red Zone Warriors Smackdown. I'm, of course, your undefeated and highest point earner of the week commissioner, and, of course, reigning Couch Cup champion, here along with my fellow two-time Couch Cup champion, Jay Cushman. I'm really glad week 2 is over, Corsel. So, Jay, I'm, of course, on Cloud 9 over here in the Mile High City. Not that I expected to be anything less than 2-0 at this point, but you, my friend, didn't fare so well in week 2. At the hands of none other than the rookie Robbie Golden V.
You know, listen, I could go on record here and state that I hate fantasy football. And sometimes I feel like I do. But I don't hate fantasy football. I just hate Eric. I hate everything about Eric right now. So, buddy, if we meet in the playoffs, which I'm going to be honest with you, isn't likely. Not because I won't make it. I've never not made it. But if we do meet in the playoffs, I hope you're prepared for revenge. Cold, hard, mean revenge.
Yes, fair enough. So, Cushman, how could I not start with not only the highest point total differential of the week, but also with the team that scored the most points in week 2, and that, of course, would be mine. This guy's. Yes, the champs team. You know, I laid a beating on Cruise Control this week, just like I predicted I would last week, with my man, the myth, the legend, the white boy, no less, one Mr. Jordy Nelson.
There used to be a graying tower alone on the sea. You became the light on the dark side of me. Love remains a drug that's high enough to heal. But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can't be seen?
Crushing it to the tune of 41.9 points. Damn, that white boy is good. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
You know, my boy, my keeper, my man crush, Gio Bernard, was an absolute fucking beast this week, racking up 27.9 points, having to carry yet again a dismal week by my number 1 draft pick, round 1, Jamal. Where the fuck are you, Charles? Now, Cruise Control did put up the 4th highest point total of the week with a solid production with the likes of Arian Foster, Julian Whiteboy Edelman, and Julio Jones, but it wasn't quite enough to knock off this king from his well-deserved throne.
All right, well, first, let me congratulate Eric. There's your congratulations, fucker. And say, dude, look, whatever voodoo black magic you're using to win, that is some good shit.
Hey, why's it got to be black magic?
Because that's the evil kind, Rob. Okay? That's the evil kind. That's nothing to do with race, but with what the magic does.
I said that for you, Del Dre. I got your back.
It made my Sunday into a black Sunday. All right, you know, my team was decimated by injury this week with RG3 going down. Michael Floyd didn't have a starting quarterback because he was sitting out with nerve damage in his old-ass shoulder. Not to mention Adam Asshat Schefter not telling me soon enough that Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey were actually going to play. What happened to 75% chance they weren't going to play, asshole? I could have played Cutler and won this game. Anyway, I didn't, and again, congrats, dick.
All right, well, let's go to the closest matchup of the week, of the season, no less, with my year is over, not quite yet, narrowly squeaking by the winless, the hopeless, second least points scored all season, Black Bottle Rockets by a mere 1.3 points. I tell you, Jay, these two vagina division bitches put up a real catfight in this one, scoring the second and third highest point totals of the week, but in the end, Jimmy Graham, as he does, got it done for My Year Is Over, as only Jimmy can, to the tune of 33.8 points, and that's with Brandon, I'm never hurt to the extent that I say I am, Marshall, putting up a whopping 27.8 points on his bench. Thank you again, Mr. Adam Asshat Schefter.
Fucking asshole.
So, Deldre, how does it feel to put up the most points that you will all season and still lose, Mr. 0-2? How's that feel? It can't feel good, Jay. It can't feel good.
No, it definitely can't feel good. Although, Deldre, I'm right there with you this week, man. It hurts. It hurts. Although I am not 0-2. I still have a win under my belt. So that's got to hurt even worse, buddy. So we're going to move on to the Jimmers, Whore Island Ocelots, playing Raj's Romo's Recruits. Now, the Jimmers team came out this week and put up a less than stellar number against the lowly, and I do mean lowly, Romo's Recruits. But he was able to ride that workhorse, DeMarco Murray, until he gets hurt at least, and his 24.3 points to yet another victory, moving the Jimmer to 2-0 on the season, and Raj joining Deldre at 0-2. We kind of all expected this. I mean, like we said last week, winning toilet bowl trophies, Chump Cup, just what Raj does. It appears, Rob, that CJ.5K, Chris Johnson, is just who we thought he was, putting up a dismal 3.1 points this week against a favorable rushing matchup.
The Bears are what we thought they were. They're what we thought they were. We played them in preseason. Who the hell takes a third game in the preseason like it's bull? We played them in the third game. Everybody played 3 quarters. The Bears are who we thought they were. And that's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Thanks, Coach.
And Commish, is it just me, or is Andre Johnson allergic to the end zone, as we are still awaiting for the future Hall of Famer to reach double-digit touchdowns in a season? Old Chump Cup is again the favorite to be the champion this year.
Indeed he is. All right, so we're going to move on to the last Week 2 matchup, and that would be the non-functioning Falcoholics with an Adrian I Beat My Kids Peterless team, was surprisingly able to get one over on AJ Unchained to the tune of 118.9 to 98.9. Now, I will say that Brad did have major injury issues, and I mean major, Jay. I mean, how else could you explain a Scott victory?
The same way you could explain an Eric victory. Injury issues.
True that. So Brad lost both Ryan Matthews and AJ Green in this one, but he didn't go without his bad start decisions. I mean, Brad, did you learn nothing from last week? Antonio Old Man Gates dropped another huge point total on your bench again to the tune of 34.6 points. You do realize, Brad, that you can play up to 3 tight ends each week in this league, right? Right, Brad? You know, Jay, Brad just clearly can't quit Jason Witten.
You have no idea how bad it gets. I wish I knew how to quit you.
Hey, Scott, how's that pickup of Seattle's DST in the 10th looking for you right about now? I mean, I thought the point of reaching for a DST in the draft meant that you didn't have to worry about your D getting a negative 3 points. Oh, and you do realize that Anthony Fasano isn't even the best tight end on his own team, right? Apparently not, Jay. Apparently he does not.
Wow. That was scathing. Good job. All right, so we're going to move on to this coming week's matchup. And we're going to start with my matchup against Brad's AJ Unchained. Now, if you guys go back in the annals of our league history, you will see a pattern emerge. And that pattern is and always will be that when the rock pile goes down, pops right back up and drops 200 points on the next week's opponent. So unfortunately, Brad and AJ Unchained, you're the punching bag this week, bro. I'm sorry, man. but sacrifices need to be made, and you are that virgin sacrifice.
From one sacrificial lamb, Jay, to another, Black Dynamite at his incredible 0-2 record against me, Shiva winner, the People's Champion, already predicted to lose. Haven't even messed with lineups. He's already projected to lose.
Loser. Must be a loser. The who, the her. Loser. Loser.
Let's go, Ace.
Loser. The who, the hers. The who, the her.
Hey, Firecracker, get ready to go 0-3 because the champ is coming to town. And even when I'll have one hand tied behind my back with Jamal Charles likely out, you don't bring enough to the table, my friend, with the likes of Larry Donnell, a.k.a. the pride of no one's ever heard of him land,
Who the fuck is this asshole?
to keep this champion from going 3-0. You don't. You don't.
All right, moving on to Ryan's My Year is Over versus the Jimmers Whore Island Ocelots. Now the Ocelots are projected to win this game by 10.8 points, but again, lineups have not been messed with yet, so we'll see where that's at when everything shakes out. But poor Ryan, I mean, this guy can't catch a break. You know, I'm going to go ahead and predict an Ocelot victory here, and let me tell you why. Saints running back Pierre Thomas. Yes. The week after I pick up his counterpart, Mark Ingram, he of course goes down with a hand injury. So Thomas is now going to probably drop 25 points this week and put Ryan a step closer to realizing that his team's name is in fact prophecy.
All right, well, the non-functioning Falcoholics is going up against Cruise Control this week, and what's supposed to be a tight one. Cruise Control predicted to win at this point by less than 3 points. So, you know, this one looks to be close, but let's look at this rationally for a second. The Vagisil division will be Smackdown. The Nomad division's Cruise Control will beat the Falcoholics like a redheaded stepchild.
I guarantee it.
He guarantees it, boys. He guarantees it. Moving on to this week's victor over me. God, I hate saying that. Robbie Gould in the fifth versus Raj's Romo's Recruits. Now this one, the expectation here, the projection has Raj winning by a whopping 29.9 points. Raj, I'm begging you, as a brother in the Nomad division, please bitch slap the fuck out of Eric's team. A 30-point spread, huh? That's the kind of thing we expected to see from a team that took a kicker in the fifth. And now my fellow Nomad division dweller is going to lay the wood to you. Go Nomads.
In closing this week, I'd like to reiterate how very bad the Vagina division truly is, Jay, just as we predicted not only prior to the season but last week. And they are keeping up that run of the 3 lowest scores of the first 2 weeks combined coming out of the Vagisil division.
Now life is hard. Am I right? Wrong! Life is easy! You suck!
You know, this week, however, will be telling, as all 5 of our matchups, probably the only time this season that all 5 of the matchups are a Nomad division member up against a member of the Vagina division. I like our odds, Jay. I like our odds. So until next week, ladies, keep sucking. We out.
Peace.
Fantasy, fantasy, football, fantasy, 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 football, fantasy.
Like an end zone that ends in a waterfall.
A shower that showers you in tiny footballs.
It's a football fantasy like no other.
Like having a best friend that's your quarterback brother. Fantasy, fantasy, football, fantasy, 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 football, fantasy. If you like football, then you like fantasy. Fantasy, football.